Looks like it's a little, is it a little crooked?
Doesn't it have one of those thermometer thingies?
Thermometer? You mean
the little leveler thing?
Hey lovely, I'm Lisa and welcome to my channel, Lovely Channel.
Well, okay.
Oh, I'm gonna introduce you. Hold on.
I can't speak for myself.
Wait, I'm gonna put lipstick on. What?
That's my beard.
It looks fabulous. Hey lovely, I'm Lisa and welcome to Lovely Channel. Today I'm here with my hubby.
Brylan, you said you were gonna introduce me.
I know, but then you said you wanted to do it yourself, so I did that.
Now I'm allowed to talk.
Okay. What?
No, here we go. No, it's fun.
So this is my husband, Brylan. And I thought it'd be fun if we did a little Q&A with my hubby. So I went on Instagram, which you guys should follow me on Instagram if you don't already, at Lisa M. Riggs. That's how you can be a part of any future Q&As. I ask you guys for questions on there. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna let you pick first. Okay. We're gonna take turns picking a question you guys asked and then asking each other the questions. And there's some juicy ones.
Dang, there's all these questions? Oh my gosh, there's some deep questions on here.
I know.
Okay, here's one. It says, question for Lisa. So we'll start there, I guess. Did you ever doubted?
Did you ever doubt? Right, be nice.
I'm not laughing at them, I'm laughing with them. Okay, here we go. Take 12. Lisa, did you ever doubt your choice as a stay-at-home mom while solely depending on husband?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I wouldn't say I've really doubted it. I think there's been times where, because even like very quickly into our marriage, I became a stay-at-home wife before I was even a mom. And I think there's been times where it feels like...
Even before we were married, right?
No, I was
like
working. No, I worked.
Right
the first
after?
part of our marriage.
Oh, like
yeah.
right after.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay,
yeah. So I guess there's been times where it's more of like you feel like a pressure from other people, like that you're not supposed to be like that. I guess like just, you know, in today, like women empowerment and all this, you kind of feel like you have to be doing everything and that you do have to have a job. You can't just be a homekeeper or a stay-at-home mom. It almost feels like it's not valued, or it's like, well, what do you do all day kind of thing, when like being a stay-at-home mom is a full-time job. And I think a lot of people are realizing that now. People are having to stay at home right now during this time. So I guess like there's been that pressure from other people, and that I've sometimes felt like, is this like the right thing? But when I just look at what God has given me personally and how our family works, this is what I want and this is what I desire for our family. I want to be at home with my son. I want to raise him. I would like to homeschool, and we're both on the same page as this.
Yeah.
Like this is something
Big
we
time.
talked about before even we were married. It does look like the truck.
That is the truck almost.
We just saw the movie Unhinged. Don't see it. It was like way too brutal. I was like on edge the whole time. I don't like those kind of movies. And we just saw a truck that looked like the truck from the movie.
The exact truck from the movie.
So this person asks how to encourage your husband when he's not loving or he's in a downward spiral.
See, that's a really tough question, because it's hard to know without context of what that downward spiral is, or how he's not being so loving. Like, you know, multiple scenarios are running through my head. Like, is not so loving meaning, you know, physically abusive? Is not so loving meaning like maybe it takes him 10 or 15 minutes to say, you know, I love you back when he gets home from work? Does he, you know, would he rather be, you know, I guess, does he play video games too much and you feel ignored? You know, it's like, like what's the level? Because there's like mediocre selfishness, you know, maybe it's just getting kind of, you know, needs to just be like kicked in the butt a little bit, like, hey dude, pay attention to your wife, like love your wife. Or is it like, hey dude, you need to tone it back because you're getting abusive? Those are completely two different ways of, there's completely two different ways of going about both of those. So I would say, like, you know, not going to the extreme. Maybe just if you're feeling a little neglected or sounds maybe a little unloved, I would say the antidote for that would be to just love him harder. I guess it goes back to, you remember reading the love languages?
Yeah.
And the love and respect, and all that kind of stuff, and how what was it called exactly? It's been years since we've read that, but it was the vicious cycle, or
the crazy
cycle.
Yeah.
And it's when, you know, one spouse is basically, you know, maybe being unloving, or, you know,
either the wife's being or disrespectful, or the husband's being unloving, and then it causes the other to do the same, and it's like, so it's like, vicious cycle.
Yeah, so the wife's being disrespectful, and then it causes the husband to be unloving, so it's a constant fight, and then, you know, maybe the husband's doing this, and then the wife reacts with being like this, and it's just a constant feeding off each other's reactions. And, you know, if I remember, the gist of that book is like, don't react based off how your spouse is acting.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't say it like that, but I mean, it's just common sense too. I mean, you know, if you keep butting heads, and obviously neither one of you is going to want to listen, neither one of you is going to take each other serious. Obviously, I think that you need to have a talk too, and just maybe explain. I know that there's been times throughout our marriage where, you know, Lisa or I have gone to each other and we've said, you know, well, I feel this, like maybe you're doing this and it's making me feel this way. And I mean, I won't get into the details of it because that's between us, but there's been plenty of times in our marriage to where we've had to go and talk to each other, and I'll be the first one to admit that there's been times I didn't take it the right way necessarily right off the bat. Maybe I'd get defensive, or I would just kind of walk away from the conversation like maybe annoyed, because it's like, why are you talking to me about that stuff? Like, come on.
Yeah.
I'm
nobody wants to work
loving
through
you.
problems.
I love you. I'm loving you. Yeah. Like, it's just annoying, right?
Yeah.
And then a little bit of time, literally like that same day, I'm going, I mean, it's right.
Yeah.
Like, duh. It's like this little nagging thing that's like, okay, I'm wrong. I know that. I just needed some time to just come to terms with being wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, some guys need to just come to terms with being wrong in any given situation. And I think all humans are like that, really. But I think that's important too, to just really make sure that you are being loving and respectful. And about the downward spiral part, I mean, again, that's kind of hard to know without context. Like, are you both believers, and maybe he's spiraling out of his faith? You know, a big part of that is, I'll assume that's what it is, just because, again, there's a million different ways to look at it without context. So if it has to do with faith and spiraling out of his faith, maybe he just seems like he's, you know, not as in tune in his walk with the Lord. If that's the case, continue to be a godly, loving woman to him, and just show him that you are a rock, and that your faith is strong, that your love for Jesus is strong, and that is contagious. As I previously mentioned, I mean, there's been little spats even through our marriage to where, you know, I've personally felt just, you know, at a distance from God. Not like I was doubting my faith really, or that I didn't want to be a Christian or anything like that. It was just felt like I was at a distance, and I almost just, you know, it was had even gotten to where, like, you know, I didn't even realize it, but I was just at a distance and kind of like feeding off of that separation from that I felt from God. And it wasn't good. Like, it wasn't okay. I felt, but it wasn't something that I was intentionally trying to do. Maybe your husband just is in a place to where maybe there's just so many worries on his mind. Maybe, you know, I don't know what your guys'
really discouraged.
Yeah, maybe he's super discouraged. Maybe financial stuff. I don't know what's going on personally with you guys, but maybe he feels like he has the weight of the world on his shoulders, and we can easily forget that God is there to carry that with us, that we have a loving Savior that wants to that carry our burdens with us.
Yeah.
That is so easy to forget, and then it feels like we're carrying the universe on our backs. And that can be very tough, and then even, like I said, unknowingly we can start to slip away from our relationship with God, and we're sitting there wondering every day, what's going on? Why do I feel this way? And it just, this constant stress and that turns into like anger and frustration, and that can come out against the ones that we love the most. In fact, that's how it does come out, against the ones that we love the most. And so I would say continue to encourage him and just feeding your relationship with the Lord.
Pray for him constantly too, that God
Absolutely.
would encourage him and grab hold of him. Don't underestimate the power of prayer. There's been many times in our marriage where we've, like, either one of us or both of us have had to focus on prayer, and ultimately God is the one that's in control of it.
My turn. Then like reading all of them because they're interesting.
Yeah. I know there was like some really good questions. I was like, whoa.
What was your first date, and did you know you were both meant to be?
So, our first date, Bri, he calls me up, and we're friends at this point, but I knew that I liked him and was like sure he was the one that I was gonna marry. And he
took a while though.
Yeah, he already knew he was gonna marry me for like a long time. Yeah.
The day I met her, I literally went home and I told my dad.
Yeah.
I was like, I just met my wife, but she doesn't know it.
You called me and you're like, hey, so some friends of mine and myself are gonna go out to
friends?
eat.
They were actually your friends first. I came in and crashed the party.
Well, some of them, yeah. So you're some of our friends and I are gonna go out and have dinner. I was wondering if you want to come too. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds fun. He's like, okay, can I pick you up? And so it was like one of those things where it was like, so is this a date or? Because it felt like, well, like I was pretty sure it was, and I even like told my mom, like I got off the phone, I told my mom, and she's like, yeah, it's a date. And I was like, okay. So I like get ready and everything, and then you were super late to pick me up.
Because. Okay.
Yeah, because.
Would you let me finish talking? If you're gonna keep interrupting me.
That's one thing about this man. I love you, babe, but you tend to be late to things.
I am late to everything.
You've actually gotten
I've gotten a lot better, for sure. I'm not as late. Not as late.
A little closer to on time. Yeah. So he finally gets there and picks me up, and we end up driving around all these places because nobody can decide where we want to eat.
That's so annoying.
Because I forgot what happened. There was a couple other places we were going to eat at, and something was wrong. Like there was a reason why we couldn't eat there.
I don't even remember.
But we end up at Chili's, and so it was kind of like a group date because we're with all these friends. And
before you start making fun of us, I think the reason why we had to go to Chili's was because this was during. It was like
There's
a busy
nothing wrong
night.
With Chili's.
No,
we like Chili's.
There is everything wrong with
We've
Chili's.
actually had good moments at Chili's, but we ended up having a good time. We got some food, we talked with friends, and then he dropped me off, and it's kind of one of the, I feel like that's how our dates go a lot of times. They always don't go as planned, but we just enjoy each other and have a good time.
Yeah.
So we make the best of it.
Oh yeah, all the time. I kind of prefer it that way though.
Yeah, I do too. It makes it fun.
Yeah.
It's spontaneous. You've talked about moving someday. Any plans?
Oh shoot. This is a great question actually, because I was just itching my armpit on the camera. Yeah, so we absolutely would love to move. So we live in the
Communist California.
Oh, how dare you look at that. Yeah, we live in the communist California. And, life's hard out here. No, it's we love, so California geographically wise is a wonderful state. It's beautiful.
We're both born here in California.
Like the top half of California. Not a huge fan of Southern California. I know it's the best place on earth because it's only sunshine but
we're both originally from Northern California, and we moved down here to Southern California 5 was it almost 5 years ago?
5 years ago?
Almost 6, I think.
But I had lived in Oregon for almost 12 years. So I was spoiled up there. We lived on an acre and a half or so up in a little town called Jacksonville, Oregon. It was a historic little town.
Jacksonville. Well, what I just realized?
What?
You're just like a storyteller. It's so cute.
Why? What are you talking about?
Because we're way off topic on the question, but you're just telling the stories, and it's so cute.
Well, I like
you're like the old man that like something sparks in him and you tell a story.
That's funny. I just need my pipe and my rocking chair.
Yeah.
I took her to Jacksonville years ago.
I fell in love.
Oh man,
I wanted to move there. Yeah.
You still do.
I still do, if some other things were different.
But Oregon is basically California politically, so there's no way.
Politically and expense-wise.
Yeah,
like that's like our biggest issues with California and why we want to move somewhere else.
So my heart longs for like forests and trees and seasons, greenery, all 4 seasons. Not a really tough 4th season, you know. I mean, I'm not huge in like 15 feet of snow, but I don't mind a little bit of snow every year. Like up in Jacksonville, we got a few inches every year, and it was enough that sometimes they'd cancel school, but it wasn't enough to where you couldn't go anywhere. So yeah, I think one place that's on our hearts right now is somewhere like Tennessee. That's
why we're going to visit. While you're watching this, we're actually in Tennessee. So
yeah. Oh, it's nice.
Checking it out.
Yeah, I like it. Are y'all thinking about baby number 2? Yes. Do you believe we are in the end times? Do you believe in the rapture of the church?
Scripture is very clear that the end times have actually been going on since Jesus ascended into heaven. So we've been in the end times since then. But I think a lot of people say end times just meaning to like being really close to the rapture, I guess. To
how close we are in proximity. When you look around at things going on, it's like, have we entered the end times? Technically, like Lisa said, we're in the end times, but there's obviously things that Scripture talks about to look out for, to be aware of, that will signal the coming of Christ. So there's a difference there, but so yeah, we believe in the end times. We're currently living in them. But there's a heck of a lot of stuff going on around us that makes us feel like, Jesus, are you coming back today?
Can you come now? But
please?
Yes, we do believe in the rapture, and we believe that's the next thing that is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So
prophetically.
Yeah. When do you work out?
I mean,
I don't work out. I don't have time to.
I try.
Shut up. I try to stretch at night every once in a while. I have not been good at it, and I want to get in the habit of doing it every night just because it helps with my back pain that I have. And then besides that, I chase River around. So.
Which is a workout.
Yeah.
I work out in the morning. What I like to do is I'll wake up, I'll go downstairs, I'll make my coffee, take my little morning supplements, and I don't eat breakfast. I do something called intermittent fasting, and I usually wake up around 6:30 and 7. And then I'll make my coffee, take my supplements, whatever I want to take while I'm fasting. I'll take my coffee upstairs to my desk. I'll do some Bible reading. And just spend time with the Lord, and then I'll drink my coffee as I'm working out. And I usually work out, start my workout around 8, and then do whatever workout I feel like doing, whether it's like pumping some iron.
Well, that's what you mostly do. You do like weightlifting, or you do P90X, or like Insanity.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What do you two do on a date night?
That's my brother that asked that. Well, we just had a date. We actually don't have date nights. We have day dates. Tuesdays are date day, every Tuesday. So
today we just went to a movie.
Yeah, because our movie theater is open.
The movie theater we like to go to, they have $5 Tuesday and Thursday movies all day. And so that's what we'll do on Tuesdays. We'll go see a $5 movie. We'll the last 2 weeks.
Just the last 2 weeks we've been able to do that.
That's our favorite thing to do on a date night. Go see a movie. We'll go and get a soda and some snacks and stuff like that, and then not sneak them into the movies. But before that, like we just do anything really on a date night or date day. We like to go to used bookstores and look at books. We'll usually get like a tea at Starbucks and then go to a used bookstore. So browse at books.
Sometimes we'll go have lunch.
I love that. Or like I said, go to like home improvement stores and just dream.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
There's all kinds of stuff. Sometimes we've even come to the park and laid out a blanket and just had some snacks and read our books next to each other out in the sun, and that's I love doing that.
We kind of do a little bit of everything, I guess.
We keep it spicy. Alright, so that's the end of the questions. I'm drawing a line at 4 hours.
Okay. And I'm going to have a lot of editing to do. Thank you guys for watching the Q&A with my hubby. If you want to see him back on here for more Q&As, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember to do everything in love because you are lovely. Bye!